What's going on, guys? It's your boy Mr. Woz, and welcome to my Loot From series where I'll be grinding a certain skill, boss or anything in general, and at the end of the video I'll show you how much I've made. I've also made a nice little playlist for you guys if you want to check that out. That'll be in the description below. Make sure you like, comment and subscribe to the channel if you are new, and turn on those notifications as well. So let's get into this grind. In today's Loot From video, I'm going to be killing the Alchemical Hydra for 10 hours, one of the best money makers in the game and a really fun boss to kill as well, so let's see how I get on. In January 2019, the Hydras were brought into RuneScape along with the Hydra boss, which is called Alchemical hydra. The Alchemical hydra is a boss level 426, which is found in the lower level of Karlum Slayer dungeon in Mount Karlum, requiring level 95 Slayer to kill, so a very high requirement. Unlike normal hydras, which are level 194, the Alchemical hydra can only be killed whilst on a Hydra Slayer task, which can only be assigned by Konar. Now, if you've not completed the Karendika boss Elite Diaries, you must wear the Boots of Stone, Boots of Brimstone or Granite Boots to protect yourselves from the extreme heat of the dungeon floor, along with all the unique drops from Hydras such as the Hydra's Eye, Hydra Fang, Heart, Tail, Leather and Claw, and I'm going to explain all of the drops as well as gear setup etc. in a minute. Now, luckily for me, I have this as a task and I have to kill 172 of these. It doesn't sound like a lot, but it does take a while to do. Also, I did record everything and it took just over 10 hours. And also I started off with 4 KC just because the last time I'd done this was on release, so this was well over a year ago. And it did take me quite a few kills to master this, hence why it took a bit longer. Now, the setup I'm wearing is as follows. I have the Slayer helm imbued, obviously because I'm on task, but also I do get an extra 15% boost in range accuracy and damage, Necklace of Anguish, normal max cape as it acts as an assembler, and also I can tell you out after my trips, so it saves 1 extra inventory space. Armadillo top and bottom. Now, this is second best in slot for Hydra, but if you want the best then you need to get crystal armor, just the body and legs, which requires 70 defense, 74 smithing and crafting, as well as 250 crystal shards and 5 crystal armor seeds, which cost around 19 mil in the grand exchange. But this will provide extra boost in damage and accuracy when equipped. If you don't want to grind this out, then Armadillo is the next best thing. Next we have Barrow's Gloves, that is the best in slot for range, Pegasian Boots, Archer's Ring imbued, and for weapon I'm using a Twisted Bow with Dragon Arrows. Now, if you can't afford the Twisted Bow, then just use a Blowpipe, which is the next best thing, but I would advise you to use Rune Darts or Dragon if you have the money. One item you could take with you, which is something I didn't bring, and that is a blowpipe, and that is only for people who is taking a twisted bow or any sort of crossbow, just so you can heal with the special attacks. Now, seeing as you'll be praying the whole time, having prayer bonus items will help, but you will lose out in ranged attack bonuses, so that's why my setup is mainly for ranged attack bonus. Now, for my inventory I took 1 divine ranging potion, 1 antidote plus as you get poisoned during the fight, around 4 to 5 super restores and some high tier food, so in my case I took sharks, but if you are new to this then I would take combo food, so sharks and karambwans to heal quickly so you don't die. I also have alch runes with me as well, as Hydra drops a lot of rune and dragon items as well as various other alchemical items, and if you haven't got a max cape then you can use some form of teleport out once your trips are done. Now, I did take a lot of supplies at first just because I haven't done this since release, but also if you are new to this then I would take more food than pots to start off with until you get used to the Hydra's mechanics, and eventually you will get to the point where you won't even need to eat during a kill. Now, I'm going to explain the best I can on how to kill Hydra properly with taking little to no damage, then afterwards I'll go through some of the unique drops. Now, don't worry if you die at first, just keep at it and eventually you will get the hang of it. We all make mistakes, so don't worry if you mess up. Okay, so before I walk through this, there is a few things you need to know. Hydra has 4 phases throughout the fight depending on its remaining health, and it will only attack with range and magic as there is no melee attack. So for example, it's going to do 3 attacks with range, and then it's going to do 3 attacks with mage, and it's going to alternate between the two. And it will do this for the first 3 phases until we get to the last phase, which I'll explain later on. Also, it does have other attacks such as poison, lightning, flame and enraged. One more important thing is marking tiles. This will help you a lot guide through the kill, so if you copy the tiles that I've got then this will help you a lot. Right, before you walk into the boss room, make sure you're potted up with your ranged and antidote. Once you've done that, you want to run to the southeastern corner where I'm standing now, and this is where you should start. Now, in the first phase the Hydra will be green, and this should be lured into the red chemical pool. The Hydra will hit you straight away with the first 3 attacks, whether it's range or mage. The way to tell is if Hydra is shooting from the left side, it'll be a range attack, which then you need to play range, and if the Hydra is shooting from the right side, it's a magic attack, which then you will need to play mage. After the first 3 attacks, the Chemical Hydra will shoot 4 to 5 poison blobs around you, which have a splatter effect dealing up to 7 damage. And standing on the poison pools will deal up to 12 poison damage per tick, so be careful. To avoid this, I normally run a few squares down towards a green looking pipe. Now once the Hydra reaches 75% of its health, the bottom right head falls off and it will change to blue, which will be phase 2. In this phase, start making your way to the northern wall where the 2 tiles are marked. I always land on the tile next to the blue pipe to lure the Hydra onto the green chemical pool, and then I move to the other tile near me to continue attacking Hydra. Throughout this phase, the Hydra will launch an electric ball in the centre of the room, which spawns 4 lightning currents in the 4 corners of the room. The 4 pieces of lightning will start following you, and getting hit by them will freeze you and deal up to 20 damage. Now the easiest way to avoid their damage is by hugging the northern wall and moving west whilst attacking the Hydra. But don't move as soon as you see the lightning, move around 2 seconds after you see this. If you move too quick, you will get hit with the lightning or by the lightning when you reach the western wall where the tile is marked. But if you time this right, the lightning will despawn when it reaches around 1 to 2 tiles away from you. Now once a Hydra reaches 50% of its health, the bottom left head will fall off and it will change to red, which should be the 3rd phase. The Hydra should be lured into the blue chemical pool, but since as you're already there from running away from the lightning from the previous phase, you won't have to move. At some point the Hydra will walk to the centre of the room. Now when it does this animation, make sure you run towards this tile here, and this has to be timed really well, otherwise it will mess up and you'll have to do the fire phase, which is really annoying. So once you're on this tile, keep attacking the Hydra until it's about to face you, and that is when you need to move to the next tile, which is next to you, because it will shoot out some more fire, and if you didn't move in time you will get pushed out and you'll have to do the fire phase, which I'll show you in a minute. And if you've done this right, you could just stand on this tile until you reach to the last phase. Now if you get pushed out like this, then you'll need to turn your run off and start walking in an L shape, as the Hydra will start laying down flames and it will follow you for a short amount of time. If you do get hit by the flames, you'll take around 20 damage or so be careful and try not to panic. It's a little bit like Vorkath when he shoots at the poison and you have to walk it off until the poison disappears. So once the Hydra reaches 25% of its health, the middle head falls off and it will change to grey, which is the last phase. So when the Hydra turns grey, you do not need to lure it into any of the chemical pools, just attack Hydra as it stands. Now the Hydra enrage will be increased to max, with the message saying the Chemical Hydra becomes enraged, and it's capable of killing you within 2 hits, so make sure your health is kept really high. Now the Hydra starts off by attacking with the combat style opposite of what is used in the previous phase. So if the previous phase ended with a magic attack, then it will start with a ranged attack and vice versa. It will switch combat styles after every attack as well, so you can compare this to Zulrah. It also uses a poison attack from phase 1, so after 3 attacks from Hydra it will shoot out the poison blobs again. So all you've got to do is just move a few tiles away, doesn't matter where you stand, and you'll be fine. After that the Hydra will continue with the range and magic attacks, continue prayer flicking from range to mage until the Hydra is killed. Now it is recommended to keep your prayer points up to prevent the possibility of the Hydra landing a hit on you, and keeping your HP high as it can hit 55 max and could possibly too hit you as I mentioned before. Now once you've killed the Hydra, just repeat all the steps. It is a lot to take in, but after around 10 to 20 kills, depending on how quick you learn, then you'll get used to the mechanics. Now if you do die, you do need to pay 100k to an NPC just outside the Hydra entrance. Right, now I've showed you how to kill Hydra, let's show you some of the drops that I've got throughout this task. Now I'm 2 hours in and I do get a really good drop here. I get a Dragon Battle Axe and a couple of restores, as well as a hard clue scroll, so hopefully I'll get something good from this. I get the casket and I get 120k, so not great, but I suppose I can out those items for some extra GP. Now talking of drops, Hydra has a really good drop table and I'm going to show you now. So first of all we have the alchemical items, so we've got the mystic staffs, we've got the rune plate body, black diode body, dragon longsword, dragon med helm, rune plate legs and skirt, dragon battle axe and mystic top and bottom. So a lot of items there that you want to look out for that you can out for some profit. Next we have some runes, so Chaos, Death, Bloods and Astral runes, along with Dragonstone Bolts E and Onyx Bolts E, which is items you want to look out for, especially the Onyx Bolts, as you can make around 300k to 430k per drop. Next we have the herbs. Now all the herbs are worth picking up as they are good herbs, so you don't have to worry about the cheap ones like Guams, Taramin, Harrowlanders, etc. Now the Hydra drops a lot of seeds as well, so I pick up most of these as they are worth quite a bit, as you can see on screen now, so a nice variety of seeds to pick up for some extra profit. There are also items you want to look out for, such as the brimstone keys, which is a 1 in 40 drop rate. That is if you're on a Conan Slayer task, of course, which I'm currently saving up for. When I get 100 of those, I will loot the chest where Conan is, and hopefully I'll make a lot of money, so that'll be another video at some point down the line. Also, we have the hard clue scroll, which is 1 in 100, as well as the elite clue, which is 1 in 256. We have the chemical hydra heads, which is the same drop rate as the elite clue scroll, and combine this with your Slayer helm and you can recolour this, which in my opinion looks the best out of all the other colours. We have the jar of chemicals, which is a hydra display which you can place in your house and looks really cool. And of course the Alchemical hydra pet, which is a 1 in 3k drop rate, and this is also one of my favourite pets in the game. Now for the super rare drops, starting off with the Hydra's Eye, the Fang and Heart. Now the reason why I've said all 3 of these items is because you need all these items to make the Brimstone Ring, so it's much like making the Bludgeon at Sire, and these are a drop rate of 1 in 181. Next we have the Hydra Leather priced at 6mm, and you need this to make the Ferocious Gloves, which is your best in slot melee gloves, and which can be made by using a piece of machinery southwest of the large pool in Lifkrin Vault, along with a hammer, and of course you need to complete Dragon Slayer 2. Now the Hydra Claw priced at 75mm. Now if you get this item, you can combine this with your Zamorakian Hasta to make the Dragon Hunter Lance, so if you get that, then happy days. And the last 2 items you want to look out for is the Dragon Throne Axes, which is around 200k to 400k, and the Dragon Knives, which ranges from 1mm to 2mm, so really good drops to look out for. Skipping to the halfway mark, as I didn't get anything great, but I did get my first Brimstone key at 83kc, which is cool, along with some Astral Runes and a Black Deoid Body. 88kc and I get a really nice drop. I get Onyx Bolt Z, which is 367k, as well as some Dwarf Weeds on top. The next kill I get Dragon Throne Axes, which is a little annoying because that's a 1 in 2k drop rate, and I could have got the Hydra Claw, which is half the drop rate, which would have been a nice 75mm drop for me, but never mind. KC 105 and I get another Dragon Battle Axe. Not a bad drop at all, as I can out this for some profit. 2 kills later and I get another Dragon Battle Axe. I will not get tired of seeing these, as it will all add up nicely, so really pleased. The next kill and I get my first Hydra head, along with a Dragon Long and some Astral Runes. Really pleased about that, as the Hydra Slayer helm looks the best in my opinion, but I do have to get 1000 points to recolour this helm. Just past the 7-hour mark and I get my second Brimstone key, along with some Death Runes and Sharks. What I like about Hydra is that it does drop a lot of supplies for you, so restores, Sharks, as you will see on the floor, so yeah, you will last a little bit longer. 2 kills later and I get another Dragon Battle Axe along with 50k, so I'm not going to complain about that. I get my first Alchemical Mystic top and bottom, as well as 4 Sharks to keep me going. 129kc and I get another set of Mystics, as well as some Chaos Runes as well. 131kc and I get another Dragon Battle Axe. I think this is my 5th one now, I've actually lost count. And I get some Avatars as well. I get my 3rd Brimstone key along with some Sharks and 293 Blood Runes, so not a bad drop at all. 149kc and I get my 4th Brimstone key along with a D-Med and 2 Restores and 1 Ranged Pot. So like I said, Hydra does help you out a lot with supplies when you need them most, so yeah, not too bad at all. 1 hour and 20 minutes left to go and I get a really good drop, which is Onyx Bolts, which is 300k, and a Mystic set once again, which I can out for some profit, so a really nice drop I got there. 3 kills later and I get another Mystic set, as well as some Astral Runes. Now I've had a lot of Alchaballs during this task, which is really good, as that will add up to a nice profit at the end. 173kc coming near to the end of the task and I get another Dragon Battle Axe along with 100k's worth of Ranar Weeds. I'm coming up to the last and final kill of the task now, and the last drop will be a Dragon Long and 11 Grimy Snapdragons. This task took a little bit longer than I would liked, but let's price check everything and see how much I've made. So this is all the loot that I got from one full task of Alchemical Hydra. I managed to get this in one full inventory as well. So let's price check this, and I've made 19.7mm. Really pleased about that, considering I didn't get a rare drop. We got a big cash stack here, and that was because I output all the rune items, dragon items, staffs, etc. We got a lot of herbs here as well. We got some runes along with the Dragonstone Bolts E and Onyx Bolts E, so we got 1mm on the Onyx Bolts and 570k on the Dragonstone Bolts. Got a lot of battle staffs as well, 1.2mm, got 600 dragon bones, 1.4mm. Let's scroll down a bit. We got the Dragon Throne Axes here, so 200k. Got some super restores and some miscellaneous items, and I've got these teleports from that hard clue scroll as well. Also, I did manage to get the chemical hydra heads as well, and I've got 5 brimstone keys, so yeah, not too bad. I also used 2,100 dragon arrows as well as some pots and food, so take away around 2 mil, I still made around 17.8 mil, so really pleased. So there we go guys, thank you so much for watching as usual. If you liked the video, make sure you give this a thumbs up, comment and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Don't forget about the court mass tomorrow at 6 PM UK time, so hopefully I'll see you all there. Until next time, I'll see you guys in the next video.